Steve here with David Wright. David is a personal trainer, a coach at Fitness for 10 in Carson City. He's with us all the time. Thanks for being here, David.
Thank you for having me, Steve.
All right, so we're going to talk about, before we turn the recording on, we were talking about the reasons that, especially I weight trained and worked on my body and all that stuff, especially like in college. Um, was to be a better football player and to look as good as I could. Vanity, I guess you could say. But the mental issue and the side effects of the things that usually aren't our first priority of the mental benefit and how it affects our daily attitude sneak up on you, and sometimes you even lack appreciation of those benefits when you can walk into the grocery store with no problems and you can think clearly and you can communicate clearly, and it's I guess we take those things for granted until we don't have them, right?
Yeah, I mean that's totally right, Stephen. So, I mean, when we're able to do all of those, as I would say, everyday things, and we just don't think about them at all, and then there are ourselves or others that can't do those everyday things, or we become unable to do those, then that's when you really get that idea that, wow, I probably should have taken advantage of those and how big of a deal it is to be able to do those everyday activities.
Yeah, and we were talking about you. This kind of struck you because of a client. You
Absolutely.
know, talking about, it's like living was painful, and it wasn't enjoyable. She starts exercising, and that's changed, right?
Yeah, I mean, started with me a couple of months ago, and yeah, she just let me know the other day she's going on a vacation, so we were planning her return and all of that stuff, and when her sessions were going to be, and she let me know that, hey, over the last couple of months, living was not enjoyable. It was, a lot of things going on personally in their life, but not only that, it was physically going on where they weren't able to do, again, these everyday activities we're talking about. Getting up and walking around was not an enjoyable experience, to say the least. Getting out of breath, all those types of things. Forget going outside and going on longer walks and things like that. That was not even in the question. And since then, this client's told me about different various things she's gone and done, but was really proud of herself, and I was proud of her because she was going out doing hikes and going out and doing different things, long walks. I mean, completely different outlook. She looks forward to going to doing those things because why? Because she now can do those things. But before, it was just kind of a mental block. Didn't even want to come to the gym, really didn't know what she was going to be getting out of it, that type of thing. But now is all about coming here a couple of days a week, and not only that exercise, but the interaction with myself and the other members here and stuff like that. So it's a huge thing for not only this client, but I mean that's a definite example that just kind of threw me back. Even as a trainer, it makes you really understand the benefits and how it benefits each person so individually in such a great way.
Yeah, and I'm in the business, but gyms are so cool because what you're talking about, just that mental stimulation that she's getting and that everyone gets is the positivity in a health club. And you become part of a family, part of a group, and your lifestyles kind of mesh together. And it's a good feeling. And you don't realize that. You don't realize what you were missing until you add that in. That's why I encourage, just go try the gym. And in the gym, you got obese people, you got little skinny twiggy people, you've got old people with walkers and wheelchairs, and you have young people, men, women, everything. And um, it's a positive place, and it's a non-judgmental place. I say this all the time. People aren't looking at the big fat person going, what are you doing in here, you're fat. No,
Right.
they're thinking that away, way to go. and they're admiring you. And so don't be afraid of the gym. And then that mental benefit comes, and I don't know if I it's probably rare that people go, I'm going to go to the gym because I want to improve my mental outlook. But it's an amazing, maybe the best side effect.
Oh yeah, I mean, generally speaking, people will come to the gym because similar to what your opening part was, Steve. I want to look better. I want to have better, performance for sport or an activity that I want to do. I mean, that's generally speaking. Or sometimes there's a medical reason, and they say, hey, I have to come in. But you don't really hear, hey, I want to improve my mental outlook or my mental clarity or any of those things. I don't think I've ever heard that before. But once they're here, then you hear, wow, you know what? I can, whether it's work off my stress or, I just come in here and it really just, lets me clear my head because I'm able to focus on whether it's, weightlifting or cardio, both, boxing, whatever it is they're interested in doing and have, that energy to go do and enjoy. It changes you without you sometimes even knowing it's changing you until you go, wait, I really enjoy this. And like my life has changed in a way that I didn't come in here expecting it to, but it just has. So that makes a huge difference for a lot of people. And I know that when I see people come in, not to stray too far off the topic, but when I see people come in here, whether they're underweight, they're overweight, whatever the case might be, I can kind of reflect back to myself being 260 pounds and going, I did absolutely nothing to try to improve that or anything. So when I see people and I'm really fit, I'm a personal trainer, but also a competitor and all these other things. But when I see people who are overweight or underweight or whatever the case might be, I go, that's great for them. Like I wish I would have done that. I wish I would have taken that step when I was at that point. So I totally admire those people myself. And people might go, oh, that can't be true. It absolutely is, because those people are doing something I didn't do. And I go, wow, that's great. I'm glad they're here. And that's how most members are. They're not looking at you in a negative way if they're, paying attention to you at all. A lot of people, they come in, they put on their headphones, they get their workout going. Nobody's staring at you when you come to the gym. Nobody's judging you when you come to the gym. You're there for you. And, we have trainers that can help you out. But it's just such a great place to come in, be in your zone, and just do what feels best for you and get that exercise in while doing that.
Yeah, and you have kids, right? And
Absolutely.
so I'm guessing from kind of what you said, you really don't want to go back to the 260.
Oh, absolutely not. Never.
You ever going to do that?
Not a chance.
And so you think about the relationship, just how your kids look at you. You know, kids don't talk about this, but if their dad weighs 350 pounds, what goes through their mind? But when their dad looks like you, who is a physique competitor, don't you think it's different for your family also?
I do, and I like one of my kids. He's in this facility every once in a while. He has another gym membership, so he likes the workout aspect, and that actually my two other children both also have gym memberships. They're not quite as much into the gym yet, but they do go, and so I really like to see that, because I didn't have that growing up. My dad's a great guy. He wasn't a gym guy, but taught me a lot of things. But me as a parent, I wanted to kind of show, because obviously my kids had seen me and known me. I mean, they were much smaller then, but 260 pounds, and then able to really make a difference, in my not only my physical appearance, but also for me, it was a mental gain for me, because I'm like, I know I can do this. And now looking at doing things like going to nationals and things like that I never dreamed in my life that I would even consider, let alone be working toward. So I think that aspect for your children is huge. And being able to, maybe you're not going to go be a physique competitor, but you're in here for yourself. You're in here doing some things for your health, mentally and physically. Like, your kids will see those things and see that improvement, go, you know what, I look up to you for that. And I want to do that. Like, maybe again, not coming here to compete, but coming in here to just stay healthy and have fun.
An example.
And exactly.
And the person and I love it when I see this. The people that are in the gym so hard, working so hard, and they're really, really overweight, they're an example.
Oh yeah.
I say it all the time. They're an inspiration. And guess what? People do want to be like that. They don't want all the weight, but they want that person's character.
Oh, absolutely. Yes. Hmm.
And then when you start feeling better, you're talking about your client, and then now you look forward to vacation. Hey, you know what? Maybe I'll plan a vacation this year instead of, oh, I got to drag my wheelchair. My leg hurts and I can't stand up and, I don't feel good. And what am I going to do? I can't walk around. And then you get to where you can walk better and you can move around better. And now vacation sounds better and you look forward to it. Maybe you look forward to the weekends. You look forward to things. You look forward to the next day mentally when you exercise. And if you don't believe me, everybody out there, try it.
Yeah, and I would just say one of the last things, Steve, for me is like they both work with each other. So you kind of work out, and I'm not talking about your bench pressing 300 pounds, but you come in here, you start doing this physical activity, you start doing this type of workout. It's going to help your mental clarity and kind of how you feel mentally, but also the other way around. When you feel better mentally, physically, you're going to also feel better. So it kind of comes full circle because then you're going to want to, like you said, go do these things, go on vacation, go do these other things that you just dreaded before. But also, when you're going into the gym, you're able to continue keeping your mental clarity to a better place. And so it revolves around. And so it just keeps getting each part better for you. And in turn, you know what? It's a better life at that point, just because you've dedicated that time and that energy to yourself to really, elevate where you're at. And that's huge for everybody, whether they realize it yet or not.
Yeah. So, real quick, I'll say I usually don't say this, but if you guys are looking for NAD, glutathione, things like that, or you want to see any of my affiliates, you can see those in the description, and you can use the promo code Vitality1 on just about every one of those and get a discount with my companies that I'm affiliated with. So, David, if people want to follow you online and watch your progress, watch what you're doing in competitions, and just follow you, how do they do that?
So they can follow me on Instagram at davidwright_fitness. So I got all my progress and everything, and then at Wright Fitness Training for the personal training page on Instagram.
All right, and if you guys have questions or comments, please put them in the comment section. David, we'll see you next time.
Thanks, Steve.